This is Luba, the founder of Upthink Coaching. We are often asked about different coaching niches, different coaching methodologies and approaches. So today I decided to invite our mentor coach, one of our faculty members, our program manager, John Azzo, a certified professional coach, who will tell us more about cognitive behavior approach in coaching. John, would you like to introduce yourself? What a pleasure to have you today with us.
Thank you for having me, Luba. I appreciate you inviting me to speak with you. So, hi everyone. My name is John. I'm originally from Lebanon. I am the group mentor and the program manager with the Upthink, and I am a PCC certified from ICF. I am a CBT practitioner and emotional intelligence disc map certified. And if you can see, like I'm all fascinated in behaviors and cognitive, like thoughts, emotions, behaviors. So, and I'm here. I would love to share with you a little bit today about why I'm doing what I'm doing and what the difference, let's say, between different approach.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So let's start with a definition. What is cognitive behavioral science about?
Okay, so technically it's in the name, you see. So it's CBT, cognitive behavioral science. The T stand for therapy. So this is one approach for therapists. The cognitive behavioral science stands for thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, and the holistic approach. So how our behaviors, what influencing our behaviors, what influencing our emotion, and what influencing our thoughts, and how to get, let's say, a grasp over them, because we cannot control our emotions. Okay, what we can do is change our, instead of reacting, change our behaviors. How to change our behaviors? By uh, tapping into our thoughts, and then because our thoughts influence our emotion influence our behavior, and that's, we call it the cognitive circle. So it's thoughts, emotions, behaviors, they're all interconnected, they're all affected, influence each other.
Great. As you said, this term came from therapy, and CBT is a well-known approach in therapy. So how would you say cognitive behavioral therapy is different from CB coaching?
Okay, so I would say, first of all, I forget, like the cognitive behavioral therapy, it's out there since almost 1960, and it's been used, it's been coming from psychology, and it's been used within therapists. Now the difference is, in therapy, in therapy we dig deep, the therapists dig in the mental health aspect. So technically they use the cognitive behavior in order to tap in patterns, whether in the present or in the past. Okay, and do that, start changing the patterns into better patterns in the future. While in coaching, it's more structured, I would say. It's more structured. It's tailored for the customers. It's still client centered. The customers, it's in the present. In coaching, we don't go in the past. It's in the present centered, client centered, and structured toward the future. So we dig into the behaviors, again, thoughts, emotion, behaviors, but we don't dig in the past. We stay in the present, and slowly tailoring into the future. That's, I would say, the difference. While in therapy, again, as I say, it's take the all mental being aspects, the mental health aspect, I would say. And it's,
Right.
again, in therapy, it's conducted by a therapist. In coaching, is a coach.
Yeah, I have experience with CBT as a client, and I found those sessions very similar to coaching sessions, actually. I guess that approach resonated with me in therapy just because it sounded so familiar. And I was like, oh, that sounds like almost like a coaching session.
Very true. Actually, it's very, very true. There are very similarities. That this is another, like the CBT approach. I like it. I myself like it when I go with the therapist, because it's, as you said, in my head, I call it, it's like coaching approach to therapy. Okay. The thing is, again, but the thing is, it's very common. Like the CBT approach might not work for anyone, even in therapy. Some people, it's again how your brain is designed, how your brain, I would say, is wired. Some people might accept this approach, some people might not accept this approach. I would say it is the same as any other coaching framework, if you get what I mean.
Right. So this is actually one of the questions I wanted to ask you. So is cognitive behavior coaching for everyone? Will it work effectively with every client and with every type of coaching request? Or how do you know which of your clients may resonate with this approach?
That's lovely question, actually, Luba. I was going into. So actually, as like many of you know, in coaching there is no thing called it's for everyone. Coaching approaches are tailored based on the clients. From my experience using the CBT tools, some clients didn't like, I would say, the CBT approach. How will I know that? When I see the clients not resonating with the tool, or when I see the clients care to dig in the past, or they're just going to the past. Okay, so when I see the client going into the past, here where again the conflict between coaching and therapy, I will try to bring the client to the present. If they cannot focus on the present, then they need the therapy approach. As any other tool, we need to try to know. To do is to know. So we need to try the tool, partner with the client, see if the client accept the tool. If they don't accept the tool, we don't force the tool upon. I don't force the tool upon them as any other thing. We do different approach. Some main things I from my experience, main people who doesn't resonate with the CBT tool are the ADD or ADHD. They need more structure approach, I would say.
Okay. Last night in our coach training program, we covered the topic of emotional intelligence, and we were talking about different clients' responses to emotions. So we were also saying that some people are less aware of their emotions. Maybe they don't have a habit of really noticing their emotions or connecting with their emotions. And if a coach asks questions about emotions, those questions may not resonate with people. What would be your approach? So if you tried asking a client or exploring emotional states with a coaching client, of course, if appropriate in the session, if there's a situation in the session, but the client would not resonate with that conversation, and they basically would not know what you mean or what you're trying to get from them. So what would you do in this case?
I would first of all, if the client is not resonating, I would try to understand why the client is not resonating. I will empathize of the importance of, again, it's holistic circle, because our thoughts, you cannot like, I had some clients where like they has no idea, like they did detach from emotions. So technically they're afraid to come closer to emotions. The thing is, like, once we from my experience, these clients, once we explain for them what is the importance of emotion, and how you being in touch with your emotion, connected with your, again, this your three brains, the thoughts and behaviors, emotion and behaviors, how would that affect you going forward, and the importance of that into achieving whatever you want to achieve, or even have like a little bit more calm or more rest, peace feeling. All that is related. It's not like I had many clients where they put blockages, I would say, into their emotions, or they build walls because they don't want to be vulnerable, whether it's from previous experience. So again, it's the most important is the how you contract with the client, create the safe environment. Being in touch with the emotions, it's very necessary and it's very healthy. It's get back into tradition also. From me, for example, I'm from Lebanon. In Lebanon, we don't get in touch with emotion. It's known. Unfortunately, it's known that emotions are for women. Men shouldn't do anything with their emotion. This is what known. Men should be rocks. So this is the thing where we're relearning. It's something I like always I like to say, it's stuck in my mind. It's like our brain are giving to us, we are teaching them, or we are rewiring them how to deal. So technically we are telling our brain how to work, our heart how to function according to what we want. And that's all happen when you get in touch with your again, thoughts, emotions, which lead to your behaviors.
Thanks for explaining this. We touched upon this thoughts, emotions, behavior cycle, and I'm curious if there are any other concepts that are very common to CBT or CB coaching. My personal coaching philosophy is largely based on positive psychology, so we often talk about strengths, we talk about well-being and flourishing, and I'm curious if CB coaching has any key
Mm.
concepts
Yeah,
that
good that
we
you
should
asked.
be
Yeah.
aware of?
It is actually the base, I would say, framework or module on CBT coaching. We call it the ABC framework. So technically, the ABC, it stands for activating events, beliefs, consequences. This is like the foundation for CB coaching. Okay, from that go into the the ABCDE. So after the ABC, okay, first of all we explore. Okay, because in order to change any patterns, I would say you need to understand your patterns. You need to accept your patterns, be in touch with your patterns. Then you start shifting. Here where come the coach, like first period of time we are is discovering the ABC, then we're going into the D and the E.
So what are those D and E?
D stands for dispute and E starts for effective. So D, when how for example, we done the ABC, mainly the B is for beliefs. Dispute is disputing those beliefs. So we will go to understand those beliefs are real, are facts, or we're just, again, we're creating them on our head or based on empirical knowledge and past experience and like this. And then we put them in effect. In order to to change the consequences, we need to change our beliefs, then put it in effect, which we see. Did it work? Fine. It didn't work. We keep changing our beliefs because our beliefs are formed from, again, from our childhood. The beliefs formed where we grow up. Beliefs are affected by the environment, by the parents, by the school, by all this stuff. The more we grow, the more I would say, we be flexible in changing our beliefs, because if we'll keep the same beliefs, then we are not evolving, I would say. So that's
Right.
our beliefs evolved situationally.
Okay. Yeah, I've used ABC framework before, especially when I trained managers on emotional intelligence skills or when we had emotional intelligence modules in our leadership programs at UpThink. So this is a very simple framework, easy to remember, easy to actually, use for even for someone who's not so used to working with their emotions and emotional responses.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Actually, because again, it's the surface. We're not working with emotion. We're working with beliefs. So this is, as you said, for some leaders depend on the culture as well. Some people doesn't like to go into emotions. We go into values and beliefs. It will make it a little bit easier, and at the same time, slowly the change happens. Once you change those limiting beliefs, we call them, okay, then we can go on and on. And I remember also we have in Upthing, one of the module, we have the cognitive biases, and those are very, very important. Oh, those are limiting beliefs. So those are very, very, the cognitive biases are very, very important, again, to move on. Be aware of them, change them using the ABC, and move on.
Right, right. So, and that brings to my next question. As I'm listening to you, I'm thinking, isn't all coaching, at least the ICF model of coaching, isn't it all cognitive behavior based? We coach our clients around their cognitive biases, some limitations, maybe ineffective responses that they choose for themselves. So we do it anyway.
That's very, very true. I would say, in my opinion, based on my experience, like CBT, it's a life, like we live it. In order to live like the style, it start with life way, like it's the way of life, style of life, I would say. Now, when you compare it into the ICF coaching, I would say the similarity is there. The difference between, because again, in ICF framework, we need to help the clients understand themselves better and then get the best out of what they want to be, or who they want to be. While in CBT, it's the same also, but in CBT, it's more focused on the behaviors. So we're more actually, like I would say, the ICF is client centered, while the CBT, it's more behavior centric. So
Okay.
we're focused on the behaviors instead of on the holistic approach. So we go into thoughts, emotions, behaviors, but mainly we want to change the behavior pattern. Remember ABCDE. So here, where we want to change the behavior pattern, that's why we're a little bit more focused on the behaviors. While on ICF, we delve with the client, whoever they want to be, whatever they want to achieve. It's more open, I would say.
Right. Well, that's an important insight. Thank you so much for sharing this. I was wondering if you'd be open to demonstrating some, maybe an technique or little practice in action. I'm happy to partner with you here and do a short demo if you're ready to do that.
All right, let's do that. Do I have your permission?
Of course, yes.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Lou. But it's again the same. Like I would like to remind you that everything we're discussing here is confidential for the sake of this video.
Well, it's on YouTube.
It's
So
confidential in the internet. Yeah.
whoever's watching, do not tell anyone else what you've just heard.
Yeah, exactly. Keep it to yourself only. All right. I would like you to bring to your mind simple, I would say for the sake of our demo, simple situation which triggers something in you and has you do something, like has you exhibit a behavior you didn't like. Can you bring that to your mind?
I think that's quite easy. Winter holidays have started a few days ago in China. And for those of you who are watching from outside of China, winter holidays in China are 4 weeks. And I need to engage my kids. And because I work with the international audience and clients from basically all over the world, my clients don't have 1 month off. And I'm thinking how I can balance my family commitments and how I can be there for my kids and how I can keep doing my work and not to fall too much behind, and this all causes some anxiety.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. So if I heard you correctly, the activating event was winter holiday, which is the long winter holiday. And the consequences was anxiety. You're having anxiety because of the winter holiday. Okay.
Well, not because of the winter holiday, but because of my worries or concerns that I may
Can you tell me a little
not
bit
be
about your
able to
worries
get
and
something
concerns?
done.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about your worries and concerns.
Well, I have different client commitments, and I definitely, have this time scheduled in my calendar. But I also have a few new projects, getting ready to be launched for Upthink Coaching and for my other coaching company. And I do not want to put them on hold completely, but I'm concerned that I may fall really far behind. I think I can effectively attend to all my current commitments. That wouldn't be a problem. But procrastinating or delaying some of them, longer term projects that are also part of the strategy for this year. This is what I do not want to, that's not the situation where I want to find myself in.
Okay. So if I heard you correctly, you believe because of the winter holiday, you might have to procrastinate and put some project on pause. And that's what causing you the anxiety.
Right, right. So it's
Okay.
like it will build up and then I won't be able to handle that well.
Okay, so procrastinate, then project building up. So those are the beliefs regarding when you hear winter holiday, then oh my God, I have commitment at my home. I will not be able to finish this project. I will have to progress. Okay. Now, are these beliefs true?
Um, well, I suppose they're based on some realistic events that are happening around me on some kind of objective factors, right? Like winter holiday is a fact and it's
True.
impossible to deny. So I do think there's some truth in that.
Winter holiday, yeah, but what you are not being able to finish the project, is that fact or it's that this belief based on?
I believe that I will still get something done, but maybe less than I aspire to.
Okay, okay. All right. What can we put in this belief section so we will not have anxiety outcome, we'll have more calm outcome or progress outcome?
Well, I made some preparations. I front loaded my month before the holiday to make sure some critical things get started before the holiday. So now they are kind of ongoing already, and I don't have to micromanage there a lot. So this has been done, and that has some positive impact, I believe. So maybe I could remind myself more of what I have done to prepare for this time, and that I actually had this contingency plan in mind. So that is number one. Yeah, just remind myself what I've done and how I have prepared for that already.
What's more?
Well, it's like take a look at my schedule. When I look at my Google Calendar, I see that a lot of my clients that are in China, they are on holiday as well. So my schedule is going to be more balanced, right? Because I'm not the only one who's on holiday or who has vacation. Other people are in the same situation too, at least my local clients. And that is again good to remind myself. My schedule, my calendar is quite spacious these days. But again, that triggers another worry. If my calendar is spacious, I need to fill it. Like my
Okay.
calendar is spacious and I'm not doing anything.
All right.
Right.
No, that's two different topics. Let's stick with the procrastination.
But
So far, you will remind yourself that you already prepared in advance and everything is prepared. Second thing is you remind yourself that most of your clients are on some of China-based clients are on holiday. Is there anything more you can add so you can be less anxious, I would say, and more in control?
um I think I've also started to collaborate more this month. So even for Upthink, we are collaborating a lot with alumni these days, and we are getting them involved so they can also, grow by taking some new initiatives. And I think this is also helping the big picture, and I'm empowering other people and creating some opportunities for others. So not everything has to be done by me, I guess.
All right. Now, when you are thinking in those three just now created like ways, how are you feeling?
Well, I'm noticing that I'm gaining more inner calm. I notice that my breathing is slowing down and I'm just slowing down, kind of physically, just becoming more calm. And I can notice that my thoughts are slowing down. So I don't feel rushed inside. I do still this nagging feeling a little bit like, but you're still not doing enough,
Yeah,
right?
you still have a lot of free time on your schedule. Fill it.
Almost like this, right? Yeah, and
Mhm,
and I can hear this thought so loud and clear now that I have calmed all the other thoughts that I
mhm,
had before.
mhm. Okay. And you see how your thoughts, like you already now, before, like you was worried about you're going to procrastinate, you're going to put many things on hold, but now out of the sudden you have a lot of time on your hands. So I'm confused. How will you procrastinate if you have a lot of time?
Well, because I may not use this time for work,
Mhm.
but I'll use this time to take kids out or just be with them and, you know, um, enjoy the holiday with them.
There you go. And that's also like important self-care. Remember?
Of course.
All right. Thank you, Ruba. I will stop here for the sake of the demo and explain for you what's happened if you don't mind. Explain for our
That would be
audience
great.
as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
that would be great.
So
And that was very
technically,
helpful. I'm
th-
really grateful I was able to slow down and really maybe identify some, these cognitive traps that
Mhm,
my mind was getting me into. So
true.
that was good. Thank you.
So I simply used the ABC and then I added DE because I know that that's like we're both practitioner, you know. So technically, when I draw your attention to the activating event, he was in the emotion. Okay, so activating winter holiday is coming. The kids will be here. I have a lot of things to do. I have a lot of projects at the same time going on. I will not have time to finish those projects. So you see how when you are thinking in this way, your anxiety is already going up, up, up. Okay, that's we call it like we are already getting ourselves amygdala hijack. You reach to the point amygdala hijack, you get anxiety. So when we with the beliefs are, when I ask you, are those facts? You said those are based on facts. Okay. But technically those beliefs are there for us to change, which after time, when you start reminding yourself, but I can do this, I can do that, I already prepared, how you already, your voice tone even start to become more relaxed, more ease. Like, why am I getting anxious if I'm already prepared? So here, this is where we created again rational with the, I would say, emotional thoughts. So here, where the rational will take over. So okay, I'm prepared. I have a lot of time to be on my hands. Don't go into now that's worrying me. It's different problem. But I have a lot of time on my hands, and I am prepared. So why am I being anxious? Everything is, it's doable, it's feasible. So there is no need to be that level of anxious. So your anxiety get little bit down. For sure, it's not magic like abracadabra and you're feeling better, but you get grasp of your emotions. You put the rational. You start talking yourself. We say it, talking yourself into, why am I feeling what am I feeling? So when you start questioning your outcome most of the time are anxiety, anger, I'm smashing things, I'm hitting things, don't hit things. But most of the time when the outcome is like this, we question the beliefs. We change the beliefs, which are our thoughts. Once we change the beliefs, we will feel more relaxed. Once we're more relaxed, we will have more clarity to even have much more time now to take care of myself and be with my family. And that's all what's need. It's a holiday after all. So this is the process, simple, in very simple way. For sure, for different topics, the process might take much larger time. For one of my clients, they had to do the ABC module for a week to get the pattern, get the grasp of the pattern. Sometimes unconsciously we develop patterns as we are young. So this pattern, once we start, it's work in progress. Once we start be aware of it, then we start slowly changing it.
Well, that's great. Thank you for explaining how that works in detail. I'm sure that's very helpful to everyone who's watching. A question that emerged is, will it be effective if we self-coach? Like you explain the ABC and how it works, and maybe we can just use this framework to apply to our own beliefs and feelings and thoughts and behaviors.
Great question, Luba. Thanks for asking. As any other coaching approach or method or like this, yes, we can use the ABC module. I would say the ABC module in particular. We can use even the ABCD, and it's very effective even for self-coach until we see the pattern. Okay, so if we are unable to change the D and E, that's mean a pattern. That's mean we need an extra hand, extra support. But for like, again, as we all can coach ourselves. Now, how effective it is, it's up to us, to oneself, to decide whether it's working for me or no. But from my own experience, the ABC framework is very effective for a person to only, like, they coach themselves with it. Okay, because it's two in one. First of all, you are calming yourself down when you are sitting and writing, and you are examining your beliefs, and then that's by default will give you more clarity to understand more. And the more you're doing it by pen and paper, when you are doing it with using pen and paper, so technically you're putting everything in your head on the papers, and that's one way of clearing your head as well. That's why I love it. And it will give clarity, and it will give you, again, a different perspective on how to move forward. Again, as any other tool, it might work, it might not work. It's different. It's person preferable, I would say. It's from person to person, it's different. But at the same time, it's 90%, I would say, of the people who do self-coaching with it worked and it helped.
Beautiful, thank you. We are going to be wrapping up very soon, and I was just wondering if there is anything else you'd like to share with the audience before we finish this call.
I would share like very simple things. As we discussed, like the CBT, it's all about thoughts, emotion, behaviors. I am one of the people who, when first I didn't have any knowledge, and they told me, I was like, it's BS. It's impossible to be that easy. Well, practice makes progress. It is that easy. Everything in our hands. It's everything in our thoughts. The most important thing is be kind to yourself. Again, we cannot change long time behaviors or long time pattern in like snap of our fingers. Practice make progress, and at the same time, it's we are all what we need in our head. Sometimes, most of the time, we need external support, but all start from within, and all start from our thoughts. You can't imagine, the more I delve into this, you can't imagine the power of our thoughts. Our thoughts create our words. In that simple, it's simple and big, but that's reality.
Right. So if someone gets interested in CBT approach to coaching, where can they read more about that, or where can they find more techniques?
There is a book. I love this book. It's a little bit old school, but it's good for practitioner. It's called the CBT Workbook. It's literally just go on Google and purchase it. It's have a lot of tools. You can check, try Aaron Beck, who's the father of CBT, on Google. Check Aaron Beck and CBT tools. You can go CBT tools, or just reach out to Opting Community. Check out for me, and I will be more than happy to answer whatever question you have, or we research together and find the answer together.
Great, that sounds beautiful. We'll put your contacts, maybe to your LinkedIn in the description to this video so that anyone could reach out and probably have a chat with you about CBT approach to coaching.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Luba. And again, like we are stronger together, I would say, and we can reach higher together.
Great. Thanks for being with us, John. It was a real pleasure to talk to you, and I really experienced, this short CBT technique, and that brought me so much relief in such a short time. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching, and stay with us for more interesting videos with real coaching practitioners.
Thank you, Luba, and thanks everyone, and see you in next video.